Hello guys, so today I'm going to introduce this new managed package that I just created. It's called Ask ChatGPT. So basically you can embed Ask ChatGPT into any Salesforce record page. So basically there is around 3 main steps you need to do to use this Ask ChatGPT. The first one, you will need the ChatGPT API key, and then secondly you will need to install the ChatGPT. And then lastly, you will need to embed the ChatGPT into the record page. And all right, let's go with the first step. So basically the first step is straightforward. I list out here the step by step. So you just need to go to this URL. So go to this URL, and then I can just divide the screen to two. So at this URL, you will need to log in. So you can either log in based on your account, is you using username, or you have a Google account already linked to ChatGPT or Microsoft account. Just choose the one that suit you. So in my case, I will use my Google account. So this mock223, and then it will log in. So after login, you will need to go to the click on the personal on top most right. Basically over here there is a personal. You click on this personal, and then you choose a view API key. So over here you will see your API key, and I would suggest that you just create a new one, and then you need to copy this API key, just put it anywhere, because we're going to use it after we install the package later. So yep, this step is done. Just click OK. We did this step. So now we are on the next step. The next step is we need to install the ChatGPT. So basically, to install the ChatGPT, you will either need to go to this URL or this one. It depends on your environment. So if you want to install on your sandbox, so you need to use this URL. If you want to install on production, you use this one. So for this demo, I will use a developer org, which is a kind of production. I use the first one. So over here, need to login. This one. So after we log in to this URL, and then we need to follow the step to install for admin only. So there is a 3 option. Choose install for admin only, and then you can acknowledge that I'm installing. And then if you want to see all the component for this managed package, you can click here. So basically nothing much on this managed package. We only have I go down from the bottom. We have 4 Apex class, and 2 of it is related to the test class, and 1 of it is just a wrapper, and this is only the controller. And then we have 1 lightning component, and then we have the one object which called ChatGPT, and then we have page layout for ChatGPT, remote site setting. So remote site setting for the OpenAI, because we're going to do call out to ChatGPT. And then this one is the list view for the ChatGPT object. And this one is a static resource that we use for mock the test response. And then we also have a tab for the ChatGPT object just now. And then we have the permission set. So basically the permission set is granting an access to all these resources here, the object, the field, and the classes. And then for the ChatGPT object, we only have a 3 field, which is the record ID, response ID, and the question. Basically, record ID, response, and the question. Response is the answer from the ChatGPT, right? And then you can click install. Then there will be a warning because we're going to send the data to this one, OpenAI, which is a ChatGPT. But do not worry, because the data that we're going to send is only 2 things. One is the question, and another one is the API key, because the API key is used for the authentication. Then just click install and wait until the installation is finished. Uh, after the installation is finished, then only we can continue with the next step, which is assign the permission set to all the user that going to use this functionality. It takes some time for this one to install. And then maybe, okay, this one is already complete. So just click done. And then we are done with the installation when we can follow this next step. So the next step will be go to the permission set, and then we find the ChatGPT permission set, which is this one, and then we just assign to the user that going to use this functionality. But in my demo, I only have one user. I'm going to assign to this one user, which is my user, and assign. Yep, that's it. So if in your org you have like multiple user to assign, just assign accordingly. And then after we already assigned, we can go to this next step, which is like embed the ChatGPT. So over here I mentioned we're going to do the demo on the account record page, but basically you can do in any record. So yep, I will just go to the sales apps. Why I go to the sales app? Because there is a lot of object here. So we're going to do from the lead and from the account. So first we set up from the account. So I go to all account, and then you can choose any account, and then we're going to display the chat GPT in this page. So I'm going to choose edit page here. So if we look back at the step just now, pull it back inside here. So we go to the any record page, and then we click on the gear button at the top right, and we click edit page, and then we drag the component accordingly. So this is the account. So over here on the left side, this is the manage package, the ChatGPT embedded. So I'm going to embed this one over here for account. Okay. So over here, there is a two important thing to fill in. So this one, configure the config parameter. One is the API key and another one is the title. So basically the title is not important, just to display at the top. And this API key is what important. If this step is wrong, we cannot use the functionality. So the right API key is the one that we create on the step 1 just now. I'm going to copy this one. So I'm going to put it inside here. This is the API key by the ChatGPT. And this one is the title that display here. So I keep it like this. And just save this one. And activate this one. Make it as a auth default for phone and desktop. And save it. And then I will go to the view record here, and then I can see this is the chat GPT. So apart from this one, I'm going to do the same as well on the lead page, just to showcase that there is many ways for you to embed this component. So just now I embed at the top here, this one. So for this one, I'm going to create a new tab inside here. So I'm going to rename this tab as a chat GPT. And then is the tab. I'm going to drag the component at the bottom under the manage category. Put here. Okay, this time on the leads object, I'm not going to configure the right API key. And then I just put a save and activate. And then I make it as a auth default on the desktop and phone and save it. And then save. And I go back here. Okay, so now this one is on the lead. So on the lead just now, the one that I didn't specify the correct API key. So now if I ask question here, maybe I just ask about this company. What, tell me 5 advantage of doing business with farmers of, of Florida. So I click ask. So you can see this one, the error message of unauthorized. So because I didn't configure the right API key just now. And over here, on here, this one is the one that I configured correctly. And then I will ask the same question, but about this account. Okay. 5 advantage. We be specific with the concern PLC. As so basically, by using this Ask ChatGPT embed, when we ask the question, it will list out the question over here. So if someone else asks after this, it will be at the top. And then I think by having this functionality, it will make a lot more easier. For example, in the past, when we have a new lead created, maybe we're going to assign someone to do the background check, to know is that lead is a good lead or not for our business. But now it will be much easier because you can just ask ChatGPT and it will give the very strong answer like this. And for example, if someone else coming later want to evaluate this account, they can also see what has been asked to ChatGPT before, and they can start ask a new question. And by having this data, I think it's possible for us to automate further in future. So for example, whenever the lead is created, what is uh the question that we're going to ask ChatGPT automatically, and which field we should map their response accordingly. I think that's it. What I want to tell about this managed package, and hope to hear your opinion on this one. Kindly share what can be improved on this one, or is it a good or not, whatever you think about this one. All right, thank you. Bye bye.